There is a dangerous lie that has quietly stolen years from millions of people's lives. A lie so convincing that intelligent people believe it. Hardworking people repeat it. Dreamers build their entire future around it. It sounds inspiring. It sounds hopeful. It even sounds spiritual. The lie is this: if you think about success long enough, success will eventually find you. What if I told you that your future isn't waiting for your wishes? It's waiting for your transformation. Because life has never rewarded people simply for wanting more. Life rewards the people who become more. And that changes everything. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. Not the kind hanging on your bedroom wall. A different mirror. One that doesn't reflect your face, but your habits, your decisions, your discipline, your standards. The person staring back isn't who you tell the world you are. It's who your daily actions prove you are. That mirror never lies. It doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care how badly you want success. It only reflects one thing: the person you're becoming every single day. And that's where most people lose. Not because they aren't talented. Not because they weren't given opportunities. Not because the world is unfair. They lose because they fall in love with the destination, while ignoring the person required to reach it. Jim Rohn spent decades teaching one simple truth: success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Read that again in your mind. Not the goals you write, not the vision board hanging on your wall, not the motivational videos you watch every morning. The person you become. That is where your future is created. Yet most people never ask the question that matters. They ask, how do I become rich? How do I become successful? How do I become respected? Rarely do they ask, what kind of person naturally attracts those things? Because if your character isn't ready, your opportunity becomes your destruction. Think about it. Give $1 million to someone who has never learned discipline, and watch how quickly money disappears. Give leadership to someone without integrity, and watch how quickly people lose trust. Give success to someone who cannot control their emotions, and watch how quickly success controls them. The blessing wasn't the problem. The person receiving it was. That's why life has a strange way of delaying certain opportunities. Not to punish you, to prepare you. Because if success arrives before character, success often becomes a curse. Have you ever wondered why two people can read the same books, attend the same seminars, hear the same advice, yet one completely transforms their life, while the other remains exactly where they started? The information wasn't different. The opportunity wasn't different. The difference was identity. One person consumed knowledge. The other became knowledge in action. There is an enormous difference between knowing and becoming. Knowing that exercise is important doesn't make you healthy. Knowing how to communicate doesn't make you influential. Knowing what discipline looks like doesn't make you disciplined. Knowledge informs. Action transforms. The world is full of educated people living undisciplined lives. Not because they lack information. Because information has never changed anyone by itself. Application does. Imagine a farmer standing in his field. Every day he walks outside. He closes his eyes. He imagines an incredible harvest. He repeats positive affirmations. He visualizes rows of healthy crops. He believes with all his heart. Months pass. Nothing grows. Why? Because the soil does not respond to wishes. It responds to work, seeds, water, patience, consistency. Now think about your own life. Your dreams are no different. Your future is a field. Your habits are the seeds. Your discipline is the water. Your patience is the sunlight. And your character is the soil that determines whether anything can grow. This is what so many people misunderstand. The law of attraction is incomplete without the law of preparation. You cannot attract what your character cannot sustain. Life doesn't ask, what do you want? Life asks, what have you become? That question is uncomfortable because it shifts responsibility. It takes success out of the hands of luck, out of the hands of the economy, out of the hands of circumstances, and places it back into your own hands, exactly where it belongs. Responsibility is heavy But it is also incredibly liberating, because the moment you accept responsibility, you also regain power. Power to learn, power to grow, power to change, power to rebuild, power to begin again. Many people are waiting for life to become easier. Jim Rohn challenged people to become stronger. Do you see the difference? One mindset waits, the other grows. Waiting creates victims. Growth creates leaders. The world doesn't need more people waiting for better circumstances. It needs more people becoming better people. Because circumstances change when people change, not before. Somewhere along the journey, society convinced us that success was mostly about talent. It isn't. Talent may open the first door. Character determines whether the doors stay open. Talent may earn attention. Discipline earns respect. Talent may create opportunity. Consistency creates legacy. Look around you. How many gifted people have wasted extraordinary potential? Not because they lacked ability, because they lacked daily standards. And standards quietly shape every destiny. You don't rise to your hopes. You rise or fall to the standards you practice every day. If your standard is excellence, your actions begin reflecting excellence. If your standard is excuses, your life begins reflecting excuses. Success is never built accidentally. Neither is failure. Both are constructed one decision at a time. One conversation, one morning, one habit, one choice nobody else notices. People often believe their biggest decisions define their future. In reality, it's usually the smallest ones. Because the life you live tomorrow is hiding inside the choices you make today. Every morning, life asks you a silent question. What kind of person are you becoming today? Not next year, not after your promotion, not after your circumstances improve today. The answer isn't found in your words. It's written by your actions. There is something fascinating about identity. Once you truly become someone, your behavior naturally follows. A healthy person doesn't constantly fight themselves to eat better. Someone with integrity doesn't struggle every day to tell the truth. A disciplined individual doesn't negotiate with every alarm clock. Why? Because actions eventually become expressions of identity. That is why lasting change never begins with behavior. It begins with belief. If you believe you're lazy, your mind looks for evidence. If you believe you're unlucky, every setback confirms it. If you believe you're incapable, every challenge becomes proof. But if you begin believing, I am becoming someone who keeps my word, everything starts changing. One promise kept, another promise kept, a week of consistency, a month of discipline. Slowly, your identity shifts, and once identity shifts, behavior becomes easier. This is why small victories matter. Never underestimate them. Making your bed, reading 10 pages, walking instead of scrolling, choosing water over another unhealthy habit, writing one page, making one difficult phone call. People laugh at these actions because they appear insignificant. But life isn't built through dramatic moments. Life is built through repeated moments. Tiny decisions, repeated long enough, become extraordinary lives. Think of a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. The masterpiece isn't created with one strike. It's created through thousands. Each small movement seems meaningless on its own, but together, they reveal something magnificent that was hidden inside all along. Your life is no different. Every disciplined decision is another strike of the chisel. Every excuse is another day the stone remains untouched. The masterpiece isn't waiting somewhere in your future. It's already inside you. Your responsibility is to uncover it. And that begins with understanding one truth that almost nobody talks about. You cannot build an extraordinary life while protecting an ordinary mindset. Because every new level of life demands a new level of thinking. And that is where your real transformation begins. And that is where your real transformation begins. Because every new level of life demands a new level of thinking. Not positive thinking, not wishful thinking, disciplined thinking. The kind of thinking that changes the way you see yourself before it changes the way the world sees you. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to recognize opportunities that everyone else misses? They aren't luckier. They've simply trained their minds to look in a different direction. Most people see obstacles. Leaders see lessons. Most people see problems. Builders see possibilities. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? Successful people ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single shift changes everything, because your life will always move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. Not your occasional thoughts. Your strongest ones. The beliefs you repeat every single day. The stories you tell yourself when no one else is listening. If every morning you wake up believing you're behind, your actions will reflect hesitation. If every challenge convinces you that you're not good enough, you'll unconsciously stop yourself before the world ever has the chance. This is why protecting your mind isn't optional. It's essential. Your mind is a garden. Leave it unattended and weeds grow naturally. Fear, comparison, excuses, doubt, negativity, resentment. They don't require effort. They grow on their own. But confidence, wisdom, discipline, gratitude, vision, those must be planted intentionally. Every book you read, every conversation you have, every person you spend time with, every video you watch, every thought you repeatedly entertain is planting something inside your mind. The question is, what are you growing? Because eventually, your life becomes a harvest of your thoughts. Jim Rohn often reminded people to guard the doorway of the mind. That advice is more important today than ever before. Never before in history has the average person been surrounded by so much noise. The moment you wake up, someone wants your attention. Someone wants your opinion. Someone wants your time. Social media tells you who is richer. The news tells you what to fear. Advertisements tell you what you're missing. The world constantly whispers, you are not enough. Until one day, you begin believing it. Not because it's true, because you've heard it often enough. That's why your environment matters. You cannot spend every day surrounded by negativity and expect to think positively. You cannot constantly compare yourself with strangers and expect to appreciate your own journey. You cannot feed your mind confusion and expect clarity. Every environment is shaping you. Some are building your future. Others are quietly stealing it. Take a moment and honestly ask yourself, who has the loudest voice in your life? Is it wisdom or distraction? Is it purpose or entertainment? Is it growth or gossip? Because the voices you listen to eventually become the voice inside your own head. And once that happens, they begin making your decisions for you. That is why successful people become extremely protective of their attention. They understand something most people ignore. Attention is more valuable than time. You can always earn more money. You cannot earn another yesterday. But even more importantly, you cannot become extraordinary if your attention is constantly divided. Imagine trying to build a house while changing construction sites every 5 minutes. Nothing would ever be completed. Yet that's exactly how millions of people live. They start reading one book, then switch to another. They begin learning a skill, then chase another opportunity. They start a business, then quit because someone else appears more successful. They never stay in one place long enough for mastery to develop. Focus has become a superpower. The ability to ignore what doesn't matter has become just as valuable as knowing what does. Think of a magnifying glass. Hold it toward the sun. Nothing happens. But bring it into perfect focus, and suddenly, the same sunlight becomes powerful enough to start a fire. The sunlight didn't change. The focus did. Your potential works exactly the same way. You already have more ability than you realize. The problem isn't a lack of potential. It's scattered energy. Too many goals. Too many distractions. Too many opinions. Too little commitment. The greatest achievers are rarely the people doing everything. They're the people doing the right things consistently. And consistency is born from discipline. Let's be honest. Discipline isn't exciting. Nobody wakes up feeling inspired every single morning. Nobody enjoys every sacrifice. Nobody smiles through every difficult season. The difference is that disciplined people stop negotiating with their emotions. Most people ask their feelings for permission. I don't feel like working. I don't feel motivated. I'll start when inspiration comes. Successful people understand something completely different. Feelings are temporary. Standards are permanent. You don't build your future based on how you feel. You build it based on what you've decided. That's why your standards matter more than your goals. Anyone can set a goal. Very few people raise their standards. A goal says, I want to become successful. A standard says, I no longer accept laziness from myself. A goal says, I want to get healthy. A standard says, I don't miss workouts because my health is part of who I am. Goals inspire. Standards transform. Raise your standards, and your life has no choice but to rise with them. There is a quiet confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. It cannot be purchased. It cannot be borrowed. It must be earned. Every morning you choose discipline over comfort. You cast another vote for the person you want to become. Every time you finish what you said you would finish, you strengthen your self-respect. Every difficult decision becomes another brick in the foundation of your character. Character isn't built during easy seasons. Character is revealed when life becomes uncomfortable. Anyone can be positive when everything is going well. Anyone can stay committed when results come quickly. The true test begins when nothing seems to be working. When nobody notices your effort. When progress feels invisible. When giving up would be easier than continuing. Those moments, more than any others, decide your future. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to let struggle decide who they become. Remember this. The oak tree doesn't become mighty because the wind was gentle. It becomes mighty because it kept growing through every storm. Your life is no different. The challenges you're facing today aren't interruptions to your journey. They are the journey. And one day, you'll look back and realize the very obstacles you wanted removed were the same obstacles that made you strong enough to carry the life you had been praying for. And one day, you'll look back and realize the very obstacles you wanted removed were the same obstacles that made you strong enough to carry the life you had been praying for. That is one of life's greatest ironies. We spend so much time asking God to remove the weight, when the weight is building the strength we've been asking for. Think back to the hardest season of your life, the disappointment you thought would destroy you, the rejection that kept you awake at night, the failure that embarrassed you, the betrayal that made you question people, the months when nothing seemed to make sense. At the time, it felt like life was working against you. But look at yourself now. You survived, not because you were fearless, not because you had every answer, but because somewhere deep inside, there was a part of you that refused to quit. That part of you deserves more credit than you've ever given it. Most people underestimate themselves because they only remember their failures. They forget all the battles they've already survived. You've survived every difficult day you've ever faced, every painful goodbye, every sleepless night, every setback, every season where you questioned whether you were enough. And yet, you're still here. That should tell you something. You're far stronger than the voice of doubt wants you to believe. But strength alone is not enough. Strength without direction becomes wasted energy. That's why purpose matters. A ship with the most powerful engine in the world will still drift aimlessly without a destination. Many people are working harder than ever before. Longer hours, more stress, more pressure, yet they feel emptier every year. Why? Because movement is not the same as progress. Being busy is not the same as building. You can climb a ladder for 20 years, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. That's why successful people regularly stop, not to rest from the journey, but to ask themselves whether the journey is still leading where they truly want to go. Never become so committed to a path that you forget the reason you started walking. Purpose is not something you find once. It is something you choose repeatedly, every morning, every decision, every habit, every conversation, every opportunity. You either move closer to the person you want to become or further away. There is no standing still. Life is always shaping you. The question is, who is holding the chisel? Are your circumstances shaping you? Or are your decisions shaping your circumstances? Because one of those paths creates victims. The other creates leaders. Jim Rohn believed that leadership begins with leading yourself. That sounds simple, until you try it. Leading yourself means doing what is necessary, even when no one is watching. It means telling yourself the truth. It means refusing to lower your standards just because life became difficult. It means becoming the kind of person who doesn't need applause to stay committed. Anyone can perform when the crowd is cheering. Character is revealed when the room is empty, when nobody notices, when nobody says thank you, when nobody congratulates you. That is where greatness quietly grows. Never forget this. The world celebrates results. Life rewards character. Results may earn applause. Character earns peace. And peace is one of the greatest forms of wealth you will ever possess. Imagine reaching the end of your life, standing face to face with the person you could have become. Not the version shaped by fear. Not the version distracted by comfort. The highest version of yourself. Would they recognize your courage? Would they admire your discipline? Would they thank you for protecting the dreams they entrusted to you? Or would they quietly ask, what happened? What convinced you to settle? What made you stop believing? Those questions should not create guilt. They should create urgency. Because that meeting has not happened yet. You still have time. You still have choices. You still have today. And today is more powerful than most people realize. A single decision may seem small, but every great transformation begins with one. One decision to stop making excuses. One decision to forgive. One decision to learn. One decision to wake up earlier. One decision to read instead of scrolling. One decision to keep your word. One decision to become just 1% better than yesterday. People underestimate small improvements because they focus on immediate results. Nature teaches a different lesson. The river does not carve through solid rock because it is stronger. It carves through rock because it remains consistent. Day after day, year after year, without complaining, without quitting, without demanding immediate results. Consistency turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. This is where so many people lose hope. They plant the seed, then dig it up every few days to check whether it's growing. Success doesn't work like that. Neither does character. Growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. There will be mornings when you feel like nothing is changing. Keep going. There will be weeks when nobody notices your effort. Keep going. There will be months when progress feels painfully slow. Keep going. Because one day, the life you've been quietly building will become visible to everyone. And they'll call it luck. They'll never see the mornings you chose discipline over comfort, the evenings you kept learning when others stopped, the sacrifices, the lonely seasons, the decisions that nobody applauded. But you'll know, and more importantly, you'll know you earned it. That feeling cannot be purchased. It is built, one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one disciplined day at a time. Never chase shortcuts. Shortcuts often cut short the person you were supposed to become. The longer road, the difficult road, the disciplined road, usually builds the strongest people. And remember this, success isn't your destination. Becoming someone worthy of success is, because money can disappear. Titles can change. Opportunities come and go. But the person you become, that is the one investment the world can never take away. And perhaps that has been the lesson all along. Life was never trying to keep success from you. It was trying to prepare you for it. And perhaps that has been the lesson all along. Life was never trying to keep success from you. It was trying to prepare you for it. Because the greatest reward in life is not the house you build, not the money you earn, not the recognition you receive. The greatest reward is the person you become in the process. Years from now, people may forget your accomplishments. They may forget your job title. They may forget how much money you made. But one person will remember every decision you made. You. You are the one person you can never escape. That's why living with integrity matters. That's why discipline matters. That's why character matters. Because when the applause fades, When the crowd disappears, when the world becomes quiet, the only voice you'll hear is your own. Make sure it's a voice you're proud to live with. One day, you'll wake up for the last ordinary morning of your life, and you won't know it's the last. You'll hug someone for the final time. You'll laugh with a friend without realizing it's the last conversation you'll ever share. You'll have one final opportunity to chase the dream you've been postponing. Life is precious because it is limited. That is why today matters. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Stop waiting for confidence. Confidence is not something you find. It is something you build. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions have never created extraordinary people. Storms have. Pressure has. Responsibility has. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself enough to take the first step. Because every remarkable life began exactly the same way, with one ordinary person making one extraordinary decision. The decision to stop making excuses. The decision to take responsibility. The decision to grow when it would have been easier to complain. The decision to become someone their future could depend on. Maybe that's why you're listening to this message today. Not by accident, but because a part of you, the strongest part of you, is tired of living below its potential. It's tired of settling. It's tired of surviving. It wants to live. It wants to build. It wants to become. So don't let this be another motivational speech you enjoy for a few minutes, only to forget tomorrow morning. Don't collect inspiration. Apply it, because knowledge without action is entertainment. Wisdom begins the moment action begins. When this video ends, your life will not magically change. The world outside will look exactly the same. The same problems, the same responsibilities, the same challenges. But one thing can be completely different. You. And when you change, everything around you begins to change. Your habits change. Your standards change. Your conversations change. Your confidence changes. Your opportunities change. Not because the world suddenly became fair, but because you finally became the person capable of creating a different future. Remember this for the rest of your life. Success is not chasing you. Failure is not chasing you. Both are quietly waiting for the person you decide to become. So choose wisely. Choose discipline over comfort. Choose responsibility over excuses. Choose growth over fear. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose consistency over perfection. And every single day, choose the person your future is begging you to become. Because the life you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of the person you've been avoiding becoming. And when that day comes, when you look in the mirror and finally recognize the person staring back, you won't just feel successful. You'll feel something even greater. You'll feel worthy. And there is no richer life than that. If this message spoke to your heart, don't let this be the end of your journey. Subscribe now and join a community of people committed to discipline, personal growth, and becoming the strongest version of themselves. Every week, we'll explore timeless principles inspired by Jim Rohn to help you build a life of purpose, character, and lasting success. And before you leave, I want you to do one simple thing. Go down to the comments and write these 5 words. I choose the better me, not for me, for yourself. Because the moment you declare it, you stop being the person who only dreams about change, and you become the person who begins creating it. Thank you for spending these moments investing in the greatest project you'll ever work on yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, keep your word, and never forget, success isn't waiting for your wishes. It's waiting for the person you're willing to become.